I can manage each one of these projects independently. And then there's also an ability to kind of see the big picture. What are all of my to-dos? This tool will allow you to do that quite nicely. So for the leadership development class that I am creating, it has a calendar feature. One of the drawbacks is I use another online calendaring tool. Mine happens to be called AirSet, which I love. Also, I use the free version. They've now just added a paid version. I love AirSet because it allows me to create individual calendars for each of the areas in my life. So my daughter plays hockey, among other things, so I have a calendar for Sarah. I have a calendar for my husband. I have a calendar for Jane's business appointments, and I have a calendar for Jane's actual work that I'm doing. So if I'm blocking out a period of time during the day, I can color code that yellow. If I have a business meeting, I can color code that red, and those are actually separate calendars. And then it allows me to sort of show the big calendar all in one place. Unlike Gmail calendar, when I have multiple appointments, the lines just keep strolling down the month at a view glance. Whereas in Gmail online calendar, it'll say 3 more events. Sorry, visual learner here, have to see it all in one place. So AirSet also is great because it allows you to invite different people to those individual calendars. So I could, in theory, invite my daughter's whole hockey team to the hockey calendar. I can invite my church group to the church calendar. I can invite clients for a particular project that I'm working on. I could create a separate client calendar for them and invite them to that calendar. Wasn't going to talk about AirSet today, but I love it. And you can host files, and it's a great tool. So if you're looking at a calendaring option, that is a good one.
Jane, how do you spell that?
AIRSET. AirSet.com.
Is it free?
It is free. Again, larger versions, more memory. There is now a paid model to do that, but for my needs, it's perfect.
Oh, okay. So that's on free.
And unfortunately, a lot of the calendars don't synchronize with each other. So you have to kind of, if you're willing to get in and play with RSS feeds a little bit and iCal feeds and tweak that a little bit. So I tend not to use the calendaring functions in these tools because I like AirSet. Your actual mileage may vary. If you had 10 people working on a project, it would be much easier, potentially, to host that calendar right here within the tool. So that's a decision that you would want to make. You can host files. Again, for a smaller business, smaller project, their memory limitations are not significant at this point. I believe they are considering adding a paid model a little bit further down. Well, the year is almost over, so it'll either be later this year or very early next year. Right now, it's an extremely robust option for people, so it'll be interesting to see what stays free versus what moves to paid. You can add links, so if I wanted to preview different hotel options and report that information to my teammates, it allows me to actually create the link, which I did this the other day, and host the link, and then I can go right out to the hotel site itself, be able to preview that information, share that with my teammates. And sometimes my computer likes to think about things. So that should load. Jump back to that in a second. The St. Paul Hotel. I can create a list of tasks. So I need to choose a venue. I need to contact the hotel for pricing. I can certainly change the priorities. I can change the order of those. And then I can certainly invite other people. So right now it's just me. No, Crown Plaza we're still thinking about. And then all of that changes when I want to go over to Carol's website development project. So each of those are separate sets of data, separate sets of information. But I go back to the Alt tab, and I can view all of that information. I can view all of those tasks for all of my projects. I can view all of the files for all of the projects. I think this is a really neat one. It's clean, it's neat. I think just by looking at it, you kind of get a feel, hey, I could probably pick this up and run with it. Some of these tools are very complex, and it's, I think, off-putting for people.
Jane?
Yes?
Just a question for
Yes.
Files, so you can upload files there too?
Yes, you can.
Is there a limit to the size of the file? Or?
There probably is. I'd have to go in and look
Okay.
specifically. You know, generally the sites will give you a gigabyte or 2 of
Okay.
memory. So for docs, you know, if you're uploading contracts or scripts, you know, as long as they weren't heavily media intensive, probably you would do fine with that.
Okay, great, thank you.
So here's just a little document that I created. If I was going to, you know, pretend I was thinking, okay, if I put a program together and I'm going to a hotel, I'm going to have a contract. So this was my initial word processing attempt. You'll notice we're now in Zoho Writer, which is one of the free tools. There's a whole suite we'll look at in a couple of minutes called Zoho. And Zoho Writer is a competitor to Word. Again, I like OpenOffice, but a lot of people like Zoho. They're a very popular option. So I can save changes. So again, we can collaborate. Different people can make changes to the documentation. And this is a little bit slow, but eventually those changes will show up here in WiseHive. So it is a collaborative tool, which I like a lot. And if you go in, I won't poke around right now, but the main page for WiseHive, wisehive.com, they do a very nice job of kind of walking you through a video that shows you what happens if we had all the pictures, we had the avatars, people are communicating back and forth. Their video is very nice. It gives you a real good feel for how that tool would use with multiple people involved. So those are the two that I think are just outstanding out there right now in the free category. Here's one that is much less elaborate. It's called Milestone Planner. But for some of you in smaller projects, might be perfect. So this will not have as many of the features as the other tools that we just looked at. Go into the project that I created. So basically, milestone charts. That's what this specializes in. You can invite multiple people to participate in those charts. You can change the view, 3-month, 6-month window, 8-week window. Okay, I'm going to do a team building workshop. I'm going to do an effective communications workshop. And very straightforward. You can type in details. I'm going to do this for the production employees. They have vacations this summer to consider. Nobody in here has ever had to worry about that, right? And then I can just add those milestones, and it allows me to put in a little bit of text, a little bit of information that shows the changes. I can change up the colors. I can add another milestone. Print. Handouts. Who's going to do it? Chang's going to take care of it. Use our contract printer. So a lot of those funny little details that sort of end up on sticky notes, you can pop them right in here, accessible to the entire team. So if you're a smaller organization or you're working on smaller projects, this might be a really great option for folks. And then I wanted to highlight one other free tool. It's called Smartsheet. I like the interface. It's slick, it's clean, very straightforward. The problem is free means you get one sheet. And I just sort of found for my needs, wow, that might not be very much. Now they have a great set of sheets that are available, or you can create your own sheet. So if you're someone who really loves Excel, you're thinking, I don't want to move away from something that I know and love, this comes the closest to Excel and yet gives you a lot of that added functionality. So this is my dashboard. I think I have one sheet. I'm allowed to have one sheet. And, project management, task management, team management, marketing, sales. Event plan and budget. Hey, that's something that might be useful, right? Well, if I pick event plan and budget on the free plan, that's the only one that I get. Again, small departments, small organizations, solo practitioner might be perfect for you. Larger organization, you might want to upgrade to a paid plan and get additional sheets. Because again, I think this is very nice looking. I'm just going to see if it told us quickly. Pricing. This is free. There are your pricing options. So enterprise-wide, $150 a month. You could have 25 people creating sheets. You can have an unlimited number of projects, up to 1,000 sheets. Again, you kind of